Good day everyone, I am Rika Zenjin Elam and I will be discussing the continuation of Mr. Chimboy Laceda's report which is in Unit 5 under the nature of administrative work. Before I proceed this topic, I just want to share what is an administrative work. So an administrative work, this is a kind of multitasking job that includes filing of information, managing of an office and its supplies, answering and directing phone calls, writing and answering emails, and its scheduling appointments. Now we will be talking about the behavior and leadership. But before anything else, let us describe first each word, which is the behavior and the leadership. A behavior, this is the way in which one acts or conduct oneself, especially towards others. While in the leadership, this is the art of motivating a group of people to act toward achieving a common goal. Now, what is a leadership behavior? A leadership behavior, this is a traits and action that make an individual effective as a leader. This behavior is the process by which a person can guide, direct, and influence the work of others to meet specific goals. Why are effective leadership behavior important? A good leadership behavior are crucial to become someone who inspires and leads people to minimize efficiency and to achieve the goals of the organization. As a future educator, a teacher must possess to have a leadership behavior because they are the one who has a vision to let their learners achieve their goals, and they are also the one who will motivate and lift up students to continue what they are aiming for. Here are the leader behavior are crucial too. First is increase the productivity of a team. A consistent leadership can motivate a team to greater performance. Next is it retain people. Employees that are less likely to leave if they receive great leadership and mentorship in their current roles. Lastly is they nurture future leaders. Leadership behavior are integral to develop and nurture future leaders within an organization. Here are some ways to improve leadership strengths. First is be honest. Second is be confident in your decision. Be approachable. Provide objective feedback. Lead by example. Create a reward program. Change how you approach your work. Address potential issues before they become problems. Pay attention to the needs of individual employees and try to meet them. Lastly is encourage behavior. Rise of leadership. Here are 4 types of leadership behaviors from the House and Child 1974. First is being directive. The leaders inform his or her followers on what is expected of them, such as telling them what to do, how to perform on tests, and scheduling and coordinating work. Second is being supportive. The leaders makes work pleasant for the workers. This is by showing concerns for them and by being friendly and approachable. Third is being participative. The leaders consult with his or her followers before making a decision on how to proceed. It is most effective when subordinates are highly trained and involved in the work. And last is the achievement. The leader sets challenging goals for his or her followers. Expect to perform at their highest level and show confidence in their ability. To meet this vision, it is most effective in professional work environment. In conclusion to this topic, great leaders will not born in this way, but the behaviors that mark the best that lead to success can be developed and defined over time. Now let us proceed to the leadership effectiveness. Speaking about leadership effectiveness, an effective leader should have aptitudes in all of these areas. Leaders need to have heightened emotional intelligence to be effective in motivating others and crucial to have effective teams and engaged employees. But when people talk about leadership effectiveness, they typically are referring to their ability to inspire the team. What is leadership effectiveness means? So it is a successful exercise of personal influence by one or more people that results in accomplishing shared objectives in a way that is personally satisfying to those who are involved. The effective leadership is also a balance of traits and skills and leader styles or behaviors, all combined in a way that right for a particular situation. Effective leaders have specific attributes. It shows specific behaviors or styles of leadership. The effective leaders create a situation that is best for the organization through the use of skills and processes. Now let us move on to Fiedler's contingency model of leadership. Now what is Fiedler's contingency theory? Contingency theory, also known as Fiedler's contingency model or Fiedler's theory of leadership, it states that there is not one best style of leadership. Rather, the most effective leadership style for any given situation is one that aligns with the situation at hand. This theory was developed in the 1960s by Austrian psychologist who is Professor Fred Fiedler. He studied leaders' personalities and characteristics, and it came to the conclusion that leadership style, since it is formed through one's life experiences, is incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to change. For this reason, Fiedler believed the right leader must be chosen for each job based on their skill set and the requirements of the situation. In order to best match leaders with situations, each leader must first understand their natural leadership style. Then, they need to evaluate whether their leadership style is right for the situation. To put it simply, Fiedler determined that a leader's ability to succeed rests on two factors. These factors are the natural leadership style and the situational favorableness. What are the elements of Fiedler's contingency model? As you have probably realized, Fiedler's contingency theory is pretty simple. All it requires is a comparison of one's leadership style with the demands of the situation. Now let's take a closer look at how the model breaks down these factors. First is the leadership style. To help you determine your leadership style, Fiedler developed the least preferred coworker or the LPC scale. The scale asks you to describe the coworker you least prefer to work with. The more positively you rate your least preferred coworker in a variety of different criteria, the more relationship-oriented you are. While the less favorably you rate them on the same criteria, the more task-oriented you are. The rationale behind these two leadership styles is pretty straightforward. First is, rating your least preferred coworker favorably means that you see the best in people, even those who you wouldn't necessarily choose to work with. And rating your least preferred coworker unfavorably suggests that you struggle to see their contributions, since you value efficiency and effectiveness over other attributes. In conclusion to leadership style, there isn't one right way to lead. While task orientation may be preferable to the organization at large, teammates themselves tend to prefer relationship orientation. In fact, 79% of people who quit their job cite lack of appreciation as a primary reason for leaving. Next is the situational favorableness. In Fiedler's model, it requires you to assess the situation at hand. Situational contingency theory, also known as situational leadership, it states that every situation that requires leadership is different and requires a specific type of leader. The favorability of a situation depends on how much influence and power you have as a leader. Situational favorableness is determined by three variables. First is leader-member relationship. Relations. These are all about trust. Does your team trust you as a leader? If that's so, the more they do, the higher your degree of leader-member relations and the more favorable the situation is. Next is task structure. It refers to the clarity of the task required to complete the project. Higher task structure results in a more favorable situation. The more clear-cut and precise tasks are, the higher the situation's task structure, whereas the vaguer they are, the lower the situation's task structure. Finally is the position power. It refers to the authority you have over your teams as the leader. If you can reward them, punish them, or tell them what to do, your position power is high. As you can imagine, higher position power makes the situation more favorable. In Fiedler's contingency theory, you must put your team's success first. This leadership serves as a great reminder that leadership isn't uniform. If your team isn't performing as well as it should be, it might not mean that you aren't a good leader. Rather, your natural leadership style might not be what's best for your team's needs at the moment. Regardless of a leader's style and favorableness of a situation, every team needs the right tools to communicate well and accomplish organizational leaders. When your team knows who's doing what by mean, they're empowered to get their best work done and develop collaborative relationships. The best way to do this is with work management software. Work management software will help keep your team on track, saving you time and energy as you hone your leadership skills. In summary, Fiedler's contingency theory states that for a leader to be effective, their leadership styles must fit the situation. Using this model, you'll identify your own leadership style, assess the situation that requires leadership, and determine whether you're the right leader.